Alien Morgue. Oh, that's loud. Need to turn down. Okay. No idea. Any part of this game. Oh, from me to head of HR. I'd like to apply for a position in the morgue. Although I have a medical background, my current hospital salary isn't enough to maintain my spouse's cryo capsule. This job would also allow me to directly contribute to the Immortality Project, to which I am now fully devoted. Long life. The head of HR and SES. Okay. Oh, from them to me. Good day. SES Corp has reviewed your experience and personal motivation. You're a strong fit for our team. Though some training will be required. If you're ready to accept this job, please review the following rules and confirm each one. Do not intentionally send incorrect data. Do not share. Yeah, that makes sense. I am Rin, your supervisor for this job, and your job is to determine the correct cause of death. Start, pull the red lever to bring in the next body. Ooh. Then grab the damage scanner and use it on the body parts. Found the cause. Select it on the display and call in the next one. The aliens are cute though. Oh, never mind. The same settings, yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. Where's this? Shot with metal. Oh, I have to click it. Yeah, it was a shot to the head. Head one was metal shot. Okay, and then I don't remember what I do. Do I just... Okay. Oh, electrocuted. Oh. Torso 1. Alright. Okay. Ooh. $5. Oh, well, I made the money that they need. Jeez. We'll talk to this person. During each day, you must process all the bodies fate sends your way. No need to rush. This isn't a game after all. However, accuracy in your verdicts is crucial. SES Corp only pays credits for correct information about each death. That's why I strongly advise you to consult the database. Okay. For example, damage only causes death when it affects vital body parts. Okay. Greetings, I'm Gallon Kreller, CEO of SES Corp. Excellent work contributing to the Immortality Project. Each day brings us closer to its completion. No death is ever in vain. Everyone is a vital piece of the puzzle called eternal life. Our scientists process the data and bodies that people like you send from the morgues. But only accurate information leads to progress. Keep going and soon we'll bring our loved ones back to life. Oh no. The heck is this? It's probably the torso that's leg and torso. Oh, identify the race. Shoot. Two. 3, 4? Maybe it's 4. No, because it's B. It's 2. And the color, I don't know what the color is. Oh. I'm gonna pretend that this is it, so leg. Oh. Torso. Oh, goodness. Oh. Oh, it's missing an eyeball. Ay, ay, ay. Hey. Color green. Length 3. Vital body parts, torso. Oh, this one has a head. Oh, I can see it. Stabbed with metal. Oh. Okay, you are pink. And you are 3. What? How is it not 3? 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Torso and head. I hope it's... Yay! Okay. Got it. Got $10. Okay, the truth is not all damage works the same way. In fact, it must meet certain conditions to cause death. The damage must either affect a vital body part or, if no condition applies, any part at all. It's complicated. Just check the damage tab in the database. Jeez. Okay. Oh. Only the torso? Okay. Poisoned. Visible, yes. Nanny. I'm kind of confused, but okay. I mean, that has to be the cause. I didn't even see if they were missing a body part. Shot with the laser. Still got their eyeball. Oh, and they're electrocuted. Yeah, not stabbed with a laser. No, here, shot with a laser. Has to be on vital. Okay. You're green. You are definitely 3. Torso. So it would be electrocuted. It's only fatal. Okay, yeah, so it's the electrocuted. Yo. Also, we have to figure out which one. I like this. So, infected, any body part. But what about stabbed with a laser on vital body parts? Does it matter? Maybe 2? 3 parts? Vital body parts are legs. Oh, so it doesn't matter. So the laser is not it, it's the infection. Radiated? What does that even mean? Okay. So radiated and severed. Radiated. Oh. It's fatal on any body part. Severed only on vital. So radiated really would work, but let me see. There's got to be 3. I don't understand this. It's clearly 1, 2, 3. 2 then. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely radiated, because any... Awesome. Let's continue your training. As you may know, different races have different skin, and skin has varying resistance to certain damage types. Take your time and carefully review the skin tab. Okay. Oh. What is going on here? Frostbitten. Implanted. Okay. So how do I know the skin? And once again, it is 3, but you gotta say 2. And 6. Skin fiber. Oh, that's how we know. Torso and head are vital. Okay. So fiber. So it's the frostbite, but let me make sure. Yeah. Because they're both... But they are resistant. A body with the skin is not affected, yeah, by implants, so it is torso frostbitten. Pulsed? Radiated? Okay. Let's do this. Green. You are long. Torso. So it'd be that really. And then slime. Oh, it's not. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's look radiated. Yeah, any body part. Okay. What is this? Aww, it only has one body part. Its skin is metal. That's interesting. So it's gonna be shot with a laser. Vital. Yeah, it only has... So yeah, shot with laser. Cool beans. Shot with the laser, not damaged. Severed. Okay. So you have 3 parts. I'd say you're probably 2. You're gray. So leg. Oh, duh. They were both. Okay. And rock. Oh, with laser. So it's going to be severed, but let me make sure. And those are vital, yeah. So severed. Electrocuted, stabbed with a laser, and implanted. These come implanted quite often. Okay. You're pink. I think you're long, but you guys aren't. 1, 2, 6. Fiber, torso, and head. Okay, so we're not fiber implanted, so I'm thinking torso. Because stabbed with a laser has to be vital, so yeah, it would be electrocuted. And they are resistant to being implanted, so yes. Nice. As you can see, a body may have gone through a lot. Multiple damages on a single body part. Poor souls. This is why SES Corp sent you a new toy, the Time Detector. It's controlled from the display. Oh, to see which one happened first. Once you find a damage, now there will be the clock button below it on the display. Click on it to see how many days ago it was inflicted. The older the damage, the more likely it's the cause. Okay. The older. What is this? Ew. It looks like a creature, creepy crawly. Three days. Okay. Okay. So it's most likely the tail. Oh, I love that this puts all that there for you. This one is long. And you got 3 body parts? No, great. They're all they're all vital. And they're both shot. Okay. So this is gonna be this one then. Because it doesn't matter what they're impervious to. Yeah. It's the older. Frostbitten. One day. It's gonna be the torso. Yep. I'm pretty sure you're a rock. Yeah, you can definitely be frostbitten. And on vital. So I do need to see. You're gray. You're like 2. You have 3. Hold on. They really did this. Okay. So that's the oldest, but that is the vital body part. And frostbite is only fatal on a vital body part. Okay. Pulsed. Oh yeah, let me look at the time. 3. Arm not damaged. Electrocuted. 2. And the eyeball not damaged. Okay. And you are green. You're long. Slime torso is vital, but pulsed. So it's only on, and that is okay. And then slime, but resistant to being pulsed. Okay, so it has to be the arm that was electrocuted. They're doing a good job with switching this up. Oh, jeez. Affected 1 day ago, stabbed with a laser. The torso and metal. Okay, so it could be either. And the torso is the, well, that's the only body part. Stabbed with a laser is vital, so yes. Infected is gonna be yes too, yeah, so it has to be the older one. Did I do that right? Yeah. Ooh, missing a head. 3, okay. Radiated. 3. Okay. So you are pink and you are long. They always say you're not. You have 6 parts. Fiber. So torso and head, but fiber implanted. Okay. So severed. Vital, yes. And then now wait a minute. I almost jumped the gun. It's fatal on any body part, and that happened more than 3 days ago. Okay. This is a good game. I got them all. Wonder what we're gonna be able to buy with the money. Let's talk to Ren. Looks like it's your birthday. Not quite. You've got a new gift from SES Core, the autopsy tool. Starting today, you'll need to find causes related to organs. The research department says this method is more accurate and speeds up progress. A vital organ is diseased or damaged, that's your cause. The organs tab will help you out. Hello, this is Preela Menvar from Crypto Capsule's customer service. Oh no, what's going on? Unfortunately, due to accelerated research on the Immortality Project, demand for cryo capsules has risen and we've made the difficult decision to raise the rental fee. Starting today, your daily capsule fee is $20. Good thing I have 50. Have a wonderful day and a long life. Oh my. Okay. Torso not damaged. No. So it's gotta be that. Oh. Okay. Oh my. I mean, what do I don't know what I do with this. Arm 1. Nope. Okay, I hope. No, the pictures. Scan the body to update with the scanner. Not the scanner? Doesn't tell me. Organs. I am really confused. Depends on B. Maybe when I do that, do I have to then? Okay. Heptrix? What that is? And that's torso. Okay, so whatever that Heptrix is. Oh, Seneca. Okay, that's interesting. Oh boy. It's an eraser. Oh boy. Thermalay. One day I go for both. Oh, okay. I get it now. These are vitals. Okay, so probably that. Yeah, it's gonna be that one. Actually, let me start with the arm. Weird looking at them like that. It looks like a croissant. Okay, I can click on it with this in my hand. That's good. Okay. So this is the A depends on B situation. If B fails, so does organ A. But because this is vital, this is where I don't know. Well, actually, they're both vital. This one happened so many days ago. I'm confused. I'm gonna go with... Guess I'll see. Oh, and this... Okay. I know they're made of rock. Severed can happen on vital body parts. I think their whole body is vital, right? But... Oh, okay, so they're both vital. So I'm gonna go with the one that happened the longest. Was it just 4 that I did? I don't remember. I would hope it tells you if you didn't get them. So does that mean I got all of them correct? When it comes to organs, keep 2 things in mind. Most organs have a required organ they depend on. Okay, here we go. Now they're explaining it. If the required organ fails, so does the dependent one. If a race has duplicated organs, it can survive without one of them. Don't worry, you'll find everything you need in the organs tab. Okay. Days. That doesn't look healthy. Have that in your head. Seneca. Okay, so neurocell is vital. Okay, see. Oh, I guess I have to see which one they have 2 of. Livro or neurocell? Okay, there's neurocell. Okay, and there's another neurocell, but only one of those. Okay, so do they have 2 of any organ? No. Okay, so hopefully this is straightforward. Okay. Yep, that is not vital. Oh geez, neither one of them are. So how do I figure this out? But if the pancreas fails, then the neurocell fails. If this one fails, then these two fail. Well, these three actually. I'll go with that one. Oh, you have outer damage and probably inner damage. Shot with a laser 2 days ago. Not damaged. Shot with a laser should be, yep, 2 days ago. Pancreas. Okay, let me make sure there's no double organ. Nope. Okay, so firstly, you're long and you're green. Torso, okay. So shot with the laser, but you're a slime. Okay. And then shot with a laser on vital. So that could be it. But yeah, because that's just one that is vital. Jeez. Okay. Causes related to organs is more accurate. So, if that's the case, then I should probably pick this. Which, I mean, that would make sense. Yeah, your torso got shot, but it was really your organ failing that killed you. Got a lot going on. Okay, and there's two, but they're not damaged. Okay. So 2 days ago, this one failed, which means these two failed. So 3. Hold on. Is this a trick? Because there's 2 different things. I forgot there's 2 different things wrong. But I don't know what those mean. And it's not gonna tell me. Yeah, it's not gonna. Okay, we're gonna go with the 2 days. Since that was longer. Awesome. Made the right choice. Can you imagine how fragile our bodies are? However, not every disease is dangerous unless it meets the conditions for an organ to fail. You can find these conditions in the updated damage tab. Friendly reminder. Cause of death is only one related to the organs. Okay. Diseases. Okay, perfect. I was confused why we didn't have that. What is that? It's terrifying. Three days ago. Is it not? Okay. So let me make sure no double organs. No. Morbexus. It's fatal if it's not green. Oop. It's not green. I mean, they're basically giving this away. Blue. Is it a 1 or is that a 2? No, that has got to be a 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. I only put life expectancy. Its skin is crystal. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Damage, morbexus. So, I mean, we don't have any other choice, right? Today. Make sure I'm trying to keep track. Okay. No double organs. And they were all pulsed. And they cannot be. No, they can't be, what's it called to being pulsed? Fiber. Yeah. Okay. Vital body part, but they said organs. The pancreas. So there's 2 that failed. Cardon. Oh, cardon would be anticore. Oh. Oh, actually. Oh, they both have 4. Gosh, I don't know. Core cardon. And it doesn't tell me which organ is more vital. Because these failed too, because this one failed. And these failed because this one failed. So it's still 2 vital, 2 non-vital. I'm gonna go with the one that is vital though. Aren't they metal? Let me make sure. Pretty sure they're metal. Yeah. Damage. Oh, no, actually. Impact. Okay. So yeah, frostbitten could do it, but I want to look at Hep Nexus. Oh, it has to be a vital organ. Okay, cool. So Splora is vital, and so is... Oh, nope, just Splora. Stabbed with metal 3 days ago. Oh, with the laser 3 days ago. Oh, you didn't get stabbed in the tail. Yeah, there's 2 neurocells. Ooh. I'd say that probably is what did it. Get shot in the head. It's all vital. Okay, so stabbed and shot is not, there's no difference. But it said everything. Yeah, everything is vital. And that is a vital organ, so since it said cause of death is only one related to the organ. So let's do that. Oh. That's only one organ? Okay, so Hep Nexus. And that's a vital organ. But the torso was also stabbed with metal. What is Hep Nexus? I mean, I feel like that's Vital organ, it is fatal. Yeah, let me just leave it at that. Perfect, I got them all again. Thank you for playing the demo. That's fun. Kept getting difficult, adding more and more, but it wasn't too much.